Thank you. Please be seated. Mayors, chiefs, sheriffs, deputies, officers, Judge Weiss, invited guests. Welcome to 2017 ASAS Chapter 254, 10th Annual Leo Awards. My name is Frank Good, Chapter and Event Chairman. Continuing the tradition, this year's Leo Awards has brought together the best of the best in local law enforcement. 19 agencies representing federal, state, and local government have nominated 152 law enforcement professionals from within the counties of Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River to receive 13 awards in 13 different categories. Honorees today will not only receive a crystal trophy, but a Leo Award combination pin. This pin they can wear on their uniforms serves as a continuing partnership between the public and private sector. The process of planning this event involves multiple committees, and thousands of volunteer hours. At this time, I'd like to recognize wonderful people, and there's a few of them, who have chosen to give up their time and to help make this event the second largest law enforcement luncheon awards in the country. I would like to first introduce the leadership of our local chapter that works extremely hard growing the membership and providing quality programs and guest speakers. Gentlemen, when your name is called, please stand. Audience, you can just hold your applause until everybody's recognized. Chapter Vice Chairman Don Neff. Co-Vice Chairman Patrick Miller. Treasurer Tony Sternese. Secretary Gary Pentek, CPP. Ladies and gentlemen, our chapter officers. Gentlemen, thank you for all your hard work this year. The next committee I'd like to introduce is the Liaison Group. For those of you who do not know what that is a group of very dedicated, hardworking law enforcement people that have been selected by our committee and have chosen to give their time and effort to help make this event what it is. These 34 individuals are the point person for their respective agencies. They have assisted with nominations, RSVPs, and their program, as far as the liaisons go, is one of the single most reasons why this program is so successful. The diligent work each of them does with reviewing, editing, and submitting nominations along with their agency's RSVP guest list ensures all the wonderful hard work the officers do throughout the year gets noticed. Liaisons, may I please ask you to stand when your name is called? Audience, again, please hold your applause until everybody's been recognized. Major Adam Hirsch, Jupiter PD. Captain Angela D'Alessandro, North Palm PD. Ann Miller, Gardens PD. Beatrice Scricio, Delray PD. Captain Bill Pesey, Stewart PD. Police Chief Bob Garlow, Jupiter Island PD. Lieutenant Bruce Hannon, PBSO. PIO Brian Beatty, St. Lucie County SO. Reserve Captain Chris Unuzzi, Boynton PD. Captain Paul Deal, Boynton PD. Captain Dale Allen, Jupiter Inlet Colony PD. Sergeant Dan Callahan, Boca PD. Police Chief David Curry, Vero Beach PD. Sergeant Deanne Redu, West Palm PD. PIO Ed Cunningham, Fort Pierce PD. Major Eric Flowers, Indian River County Sheriff's Office. Sergeant Frank Sable, Port St. Lucie PD. Deputy Chief Greg Witt, Sebastian PD. Police Chief Hal Hutchins, Ocean Ridge PD. Captain Jeff Ardelin, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Joanne Costello, Martin County SO. Police Chief John Pruitt, Jupiter Inlet Colony PD. Captain Joseph Tominelli, Stewart PD. Major Leonard Mitchell, Riviera Beach PD. Sergeant Manuel Rivera, FHP. Melissa Clanton, Martin County SO. Captain Mick Kean, Palm Beach PD. Lieutenant Nick Alvaro, South Palm Beach PD. Major Paul Fertig, Juno Beach PD. Sergeant Rich Zurikowski, St. Lucie County SO. Captain Rick Morris, Palm Beach County School Board Police. Captain Robert Perez, Palm Springs PD. Captain Steve Graff, Stewart PD. And finally, Tammy Schwab, St. Lucie County SO. Ladies and gentlemen, please give these wonderful people a hand for all their hard work. This next group I'm going to introduce, they know they're going to be introduced, but they have no idea what's to follow, so this should be very interesting. After all, we're dealing with a bunch of former cops here, guys. So, the next group of volunteers I'd like to introduce is the Leo Committee. These people are without a doubt the hardest working professionals I've ever had the pleasure to work with. The committee is comprised of 16 individuals from both the public and private sector. They are dedicated, passionate, and highly respected in the communities they work in and live in. Every year I am asked if there are any openings on the committee, and that happens quite frequently. My response is, can you commit to several hundred hours of volunteer work the entire year to include screening sponsorships, securing sponsorships, serving on several subcommittees, traveling hundreds of miles to police agencies in the 4 counties for Leo event meetings, helping to create forms, policy, procedures, and respectfully asking a high-ranking police official who might be a liaison what in the heck has taken so long for you to submit your nominations? All the while having a pucker factor as that's going on. Plus, you got to do your paid job, which is first and foremost. And finally, keeping your wife happy at home all through this, and my wife can attest to that. That must be a wife. If you could say yes to all of that, then we would love to have you join the committee. Now you know why we only have 16 crazy people in this committee. I love each and every one of these committee members as a family member. They never, and I mean never, ask for any recognition or praise. Their only concern is the success of the event and that all the great work done by local law enforcement is being recognized. In celebrating our 10th year, I'd like to introduce each member and ask them to please come up to the stage and be recognized. And again, please hold your applause until everyone's been notified. Hopefully no one's in the restroom. Assistant to the Chief, Palm Beach Gardens PD, Ann Miller. Dean of Academic Affairs at Kaiser University and former Deputy Sheriff, Dr. Anthony Berrios. Our only member of our committee to have retired twice. You all know who that is. First from NYPD as a detective, and most recently from right here at PGA National Resort as Director of Security, Bob Aglisi, and Bob is also our first founding Leo member. Firefighter, EMT security officer at Frenchman's Reserve, Brittany Good. I don't see anybody coming up, guys. Let's go. Crack the whip here. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Bruce Hannon. Jupiter Police Department Major Chris Smith. Retired Air Force Colonel and current Director of Security at East Point, also a Leo founding committee member, Dieter Hines. Loss Prevention Supervisor at the Ritz-Carlton Singer Island, also a Leo committee founding member, Don Neff. Retired Police Major at Palm Beach Gardens PD and current Security Director at the Gardens Mall, Jack Schnur. And there goes my water. Communications Supervisor at the Palm Beach Gardens PD, Jamie Smith. Retired Assistant Chief from Tequesta PD and current General Manager at Allied Universal, Jason Turner. Retired New Jersey Sheriff and current Director of Security at Admiral's Cove, Jay Alpert. General Sales Manager, CSI, Palm Beach, also a Leo Committee founding member, Kurt Friedman. Riviera Beach Police Department Major, Leonard Mitchell. Former police officer and current Director of Security for Trump Towers, also a Leo Committee founding member, Raymond Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and thanking these wonderful people for a great job done, 10 years. And tell everybody grab the top. All right, while they're getting their plaque, I'm going to continue on, folks. One final thought, folks. The passion the committee shows for this event is evident, especially with our newest member, Jamie Smith. Jamie just had major back surgery last week and was mostly bedridden for the week leading up to her surgery. While waiting for surgery, she continued to complete tasks she had been given prior to her injury while laid up in bed. Jamie was told by everyone on the committee, please, to allow us to take over her duties. She said no. She said, I am honored to be part of this committee and I want to do my part. That is why this committee is so special and why we are a family. Jamie, I'm sure you're down here. Thank you very much for your crazy dedication. Here she is, folks. And special heart. Thank you, Jamie. For those of you here today that are in the drop or about to go in the drop, this message is for you. You will notice that 10 members of our committee have transitioned from a law enforcement career to a career in the private sector, either as security directors, security managers, investigators, etc. This transition for most of us was made possible by joining a local AIS chapter. If you think you're going to retire on Friday and start your new job as security director at Disney World, you're in for a rude awakening. Generally speaking, the transition period from law enforcement to a corporate security position is 3 years. Why 3 years? Well, going from a warrior mindset to a corporate culture takes time. You cannot conduct a corporate investigation the same way you investigated a home burglary while you were on the job. The rules are very different. By joining an AIS chapter, a couple of years before retiring, you can meet and spend time with former officers who have completed the transition, and also they have the ability to make the contacts needed to help and build relationships that will help you in your next career change. Most importantly, you can start preparing for the ability to secure board certifications through ASIS. There are 3 of them. I'll speak to them very briefly. CPP, Certified Protection Professional, which is recognized as board certification in security management. PCI, Professional Certified Investigator, which is recognized as board certification in investigations. And the PSP, Physical Security Professional, which is recognized as board certification in physical security. Acquiring one of these board certifications, especially the CPP, increases your chances of landing that corporate security position. In fact, major corporations are now trending towards requiring the CPP and will, in some cases, accept it in lieu of a bachelor's degree. For those of you looking for a career in security upon retirement, please reach out to any of the security and Leo committee members that you all saw here today, and we will be more than happy to spend some time with you and kind of get you directed to our local chapter and help you with your career transition. Very, very important, guys. At this time, I'd like to recognize some very important people, which is our ushers. Each of these individuals currently are enrolled in the Palm Beach County Police Academy, either in a full-time or part-time academy class. All the recruits have made the decision to sacrifice time away from family and friends as they pursue their career in law enforcement. I'd like to recognize them now. Please, recruits, stand when your name is called. Audience, please hold your applause. And hopefully I'll get the names correct on here. Chad Witherspoon, Jordan Diaz, Sean Elkins, John Frankel Gardino, Daniel Esposito, Juan Rios, Andrea Carl Derone, Wilbert Vargas, Anna Leaf, and Isaac Hawthorne. Please give them a round of applause, folks. Recruits, I need you to keep standing, please. Sheriffs, chiefs, and command staff in the room. All the recruits currently enrolled in the academy, these individuals here today made the decision to be part of this event and volunteer for this program. Please, if you have a moment, engage with them, talk with them. They're all looking for work. We do this every year. They are positioned throughout the room so that they can obviously spend a little time with you. We already have one that was at the Blue Line Run last week that is also being looked at by an agency right now. So please spend a little time with them if you have. Get to know them and do what you can if possible, if you're hiring right now, to help them out. Recruits, please have a seat. Thank you. The Leo Committee realizes that the law enforcement dream can be very expensive. The Academy currently costs approximately $4,700, including books and uniforms, to become certified. To help assist with some of these expenses, the Leo Event Scholarship will be awarded today to 6 police recruits who have distinguished themselves while pursuing that law enforcement dream. Each recruit will receive a scholarship check to help offset the cost of becoming certified. To help present the scholarship awards, can I please ask retired Deputy Chief of Police from Jupiter Island PD, Scott Bovey, who represents Florida Retirement Solutions, and Steve Pinnacoli from Thomas and Pinnacoli Law Offices, and Jeff Sabin from Waste Management to please come up to the stage. All 3 of these gentlemen are scholarship sponsors. Scott is our founding scholarship sponsor, and his company has donated in excess of $6,000 to the scholarship program since its inception in 2013. Waste Management is our newest scholarship sponsor, and we are honored to have all 3 of these wonderful companies as part of our corporate sponsors. I will now announce the scholarship recipients. When your name is called, recruits, please come up to the stage. And audience, again, hold your applause. Eric Russell, Jesse Festa, Benjamin Heron, Jennifer Jones, Sean Alkins. Please give him a hand, folks. Shannon, can I please ask you to come up? We got a few surprises today. This is one of them. Our final scholarship for this year is being named for someone who is very special to this event and to the Leo Committee. She has influenced members of our community concerning legislation on safety. She has given of herself to local charities, and she steadfastly supports the men and women in uniform. The Leo Committee is honored to name our final award the Shannon Cake Leo Event Scholarship. And is presented this year to recruit Andrea Calderon. Andrea, please come up. Sorry, Shannon, didn't mean to surprise you. Ladies and gentlemen, one final applause for all our scholarship winners today, please. Finally, we'd like to recognize our corporate sponsors. And she doesn't know, but I'm going to ask my daughter, Brittany, will you please come up here and help me hand out some of these awards? Thank you. Yes, you need to come up this way. Corporate sponsors, as you might imagine, is the fuel that powers this event. The awards, catering, sponsorship programs, and other important items require significant funding to present to you a program like no other. I'd like at this time to identify the major corporate sponsors and ask them to please come up to the stage. Audience, once again, please hold your applause until everyone's been identified. First, our gold sponsors. This year's presenting sponsor, representing the law firm of Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivey, and Fromrath, firm partner Lance Ivey. Representing Kaiser University, West Palm Beach campus president Kimberly Lee, and Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Anthony Barrios. Representing Allied Universal Security Services, Regional Vice President Rob Chambers. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me thank the gold sponsors. Our silver sponsors, representing G4S Secure Solutions, from the West Palm Beach office, General Manager Ed Rodriguez, and from the Boca Raton office, General Manager Frank Hernandez. Representing CSI Palm Beach, Brad Bishop. Representing Carpenter Electric, Rick Seymour. Representing PGA National Resort and Spa, Nicole D'Angelo. Hope she's in the room. Representing Thomas and Pinnacoli Law Offices, Stephen Pinnacoli and Heather Sheffer. Representing Florida Retirement Solutions, Scott Bovey, Dee Nestor, and Dick Pond. Representing PNC Bank, Cynthia Poloni. BPF Energy Solutions. Representing Waste Management, Alex Gonzalez and Jeff Sabin. Representing JM Family Enterprises, Lisa Davis. And finally, we would like to say a special thank you to WPTV Channel 5 News Director Nicole Hoganson and Production Manager Bill Goodwin for again partnering with us for the 4th year in a row, streaming the event live on WPTV.com. Nicole, if you're here, please come up. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking all our wonderful corporate sponsors. At this time, I'd like to have Lance Ivy say a few words. This should be very interesting coming from an attorney.
First and foremost, I just got these glasses, and I was leaving home this morning, and my 13-year-old son, Coda, says I look like Harry Potter. So that wasn't the look I was going for, but on a serious note, I want to thank Don Neff and the entire committee. I mean, what a beautiful event this is every year, isn't it, folks? And Shannon Cake, you do objective and neutral reporting. It's such a rarity in these days and times, and we really appreciate your giving back to the community in this event, and God bless you. Thank you very much. Now I want to thank the family members, loved ones, and friends who support, who are married to, related to a law enforcement officer. I was the son of a police officer, former military. I know what you go through on a daily basis, and thank you very much for what you do for those folks that wear the badge. Thank you, and God bless you. I also want to thank those that support law enforcement, either at work or otherwise, because without you, they couldn't be out there doing their job, protecting us from the bad guys, and God bless you as well. Thank you very much. We live in a very dangerous world, and you police officers, first responders, represent what's best in a world full of bad, and these recognitions should not be annually. They should be daily. People should be thanking you for what you do to protect our society on a daily basis, and I'm here to say thank you very much. I'm also here to say that just because you wear a badge and don a weapon doesn't mean you don't have equal rights. Each and every one of you has equal rights, and we support you, and the majority of the population supports you, and God bless you. Never forget all the good that you do and what you represent. In a society of a bunch of naysayers, always be proud of what you do, because the majority of folks like myself are blessed to have people like you out there protecting us from the dregs of society, and God bless you, and always remember that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lance. Well, all the important people have been introduced, all the thank yous have been spoken, and now let's get on with why we're here today. All that remains is introducing our MC today. There's only one person that we know of that can do this event and do it in such a professional manner. Someone is the best of the best in her profession. A 5-time Emmy Award winner, a veteran news anchor of over 20 years, someone who's aligned herself with this program since its inception, because as she's told me on many occasions, I believe in and I am honored to tell the stories of the heroes of our community. She has grace, humility, and ability to keep you focused on the importance of her message. I am honored again to introduce our friend, Shannon Cake.
Thank you, Frank. And thank you to all of you, to the Leo Awards Committee, for that tremendous honor just a few moments ago. Leave it to Frank to make a girl cry and then throw the microphone in front of her mouth for about another hour and a half. Thanks a lot, friend. No, truly, my husband and I just had a conversation the other day. You reach that point in your career where you wonder what you're doing and how long you're going to do it. And we had this very decisive conversation the other night. And we started talking about, if you're not grooming those coming up behind you, what are you still doing, right? If you're not lending your information, what you've learned in your work, to the next generation, you better rethink what you're doing, because you need to bring up those behind you. So it was a great honor to be part of bringing up a law enforcement officer. I am Shannon Cake. Good afternoon to you. I'm with WPTV News Channel 5, of course, and once again, my great honor to play just a small role in the celebration of our men and women in blue and green, as it were in some cases. You are the unsung heroes of our community. You know, in the news business, often we focus on the whodunits. Rarely we get to focus on the brains that broke the case wide open. Rarely do we talk about that officer who stood in the line of fire between civilians and the bad guys. As journalists, of course, we respect your humility at times when you don't want to talk, your need for discretion at times when you're working a case and you need more time. We respect that. But today, we get to tell your stories. We get to celebrate your stories. And it is a privilege to do just that. I brought along a couple people to help me do it today. A bunch of Channel 5ers are in the back of the room. I've got photographers and directors and producers and 4 crew members. We call our Big Bertha out back, our satellite truck, because we are, as we mentioned, streaming live on WPTV.com. So take a moment, whomever, if you weren't able to have a family or a friend join you here at this celebration today, give them a quick text. Let them know they can pick up the ceremony on WPTV.com, because we are streaming live people right now. That's exciting. So welcome online if you're watching online right now, right? Today's nominees were all selected by their respective agencies. The agency liaisons then forwarded the nominations to the Leo Awards Committee for consideration. The Leo Committee then carefully reviewed each and every nomination, ensuring that every honoree selection was done with great care and great respect. All nominees, as we know, are heroes. You are winners in our community. You are leaders in our community. So, of course, naturally, it was a very difficult task to narrow it down to just one, in some cases, two. Here's how the program's going to proceed. For every single category, I'm going to read all the nominees. When you hear your name, if you'll stand, and audience, I'll ask that you hold your applause until everybody is standing. We can recognize everyone at once. Honoree, when you hear your name, if you'll start moving forward here to the podium to receive your award. And in the event, of course, that an honoree is not here, we would ask that an appropriate member of his or her agency would come on up and accept the award on their behalf. We're also asking each of the honorees, sheriff, chief, or other top command staff personnel, go ahead and accompany them to the podium to present the award. And of course, you'll have a couple minutes to speak if you care to do so. It is now my pleasure to begin announcing the names of the nominees for our first category, the Peers Award. This award, given to those who show leadership and earn respect for those who serve alongside them. They earn the respect of those who serve alongside them. The Leo Committee thought that it would be appropriate this year that we name this award the Christine Braswell Peers Award in honor of your fallen comrade who was taken from all of us much, much too soon. We want to roll a clip now of just how amazing she was at her job in Delray Beach. But what we found, if we could pause just a moment and cue it up again, what we found after her death was how much she was loved and respected by all of you. Take a look.
Two, one.
In the dirt, one eye open. An Accuracy International sniper rifle in her hands that she painted herself.
I enjoy the
Let's stop it down and try again, because it's too good not to see it, right? I'll tell you really quickly, and Dean, just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to roll. Behind the scenes, News Channel 5 had the honor of being invited to profile Officer Braswell. We went with the intent of profiling her. Our reporter, Andrew Lofholm, and our photographer, Con Paula. And they went down there and they were really taken with her, very excited to meet her, and they were really excited about putting together this amazing piece. Of course, in her untimely death, we in the newsroom were left scratching our heads and, quite frankly, with the really difficult task of putting together a piece that would pay tribute to her. I think they did a remarkable job. And I want to tell you, I watched behind the scenes. I had nothing to do with the assembly of the piece. But our reporter, I believe, is here today. Andrew, I haven't seen, but he heard that she was being honored today, and he wanted to come. He attended her funeral, our photographer and our reporter did. And they, while they didn't know her long, they also loved her. Take a look.
Range is hot.
Welcome to Christine Braswell's sanctuary.
3, 2, 1.
In the dirt, one eye open, an accuracy international sniper rifle in her hands that she painted herself.
I enjoy the sniper aspect, being able to just lay down and calm everything and just everything is still behind me. Doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if shots are being fired.
Braswell joined Delray Beach Police almost 12 years ago, but started shooting long before then.
I was probably about 6 or 7 years old with my father, and he gave me a little 22 long rifle, a little Remington Model 6.
Her dad, a retired West Palm police officer, had her compete in turkey shoots.
I did okay.
She's being humble. She doesn't miss.
We're aiming for right in here.
Why there?
Because I said so.
From 100 yards away, she's perfect.
Woo! These were the shots behind the ear.
Wow.
These were my headshots.
Braswell's not married and doesn't have kids, but she has family. She trained basically every Delray Beach officer.
At the pause in your breath. Easy squeeze.
It's strict, but gets to the point. Like, you know you're serious.
I don't know if I hit it. Oh, hold on.
You look?
Fun.
You never go hungry.
Definitely never go hungry.
Yeah, she likes to eat.
What's her favorite?
Chick-fil-A.
As soon as we walk in, they know the order.
Just passing on the knowledge that I have. You know, I was fortunate enough to grow up around guns and to be able to shoot all my life.
A markswoman like her is rare in police ranks.
In my 23 and a half years, maybe known of maybe 3 or 4 different female snipers from all over the country.
I don't consider myself special in any way. I mean, I can shoot and I'm good with a gun, so I can do the job just as anybody else could.
Seeing how hard she has worked for it and her continuance on training, it inspires me to actually do more.
Little girls will definitely look up to her and be like, I can do that.
3, 2, 1.
The role of a sniper is to watch over her team.
It's always the what if, you know. We never know exactly what we're going to be faced with until we actually get there.
That role won't change.
So, in honor of Officer Christine Braswell, the honorees for this year's Peers Award are, from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Deputy John Derby. Please stand. And from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Duty Officer Brianne Munez. A round of applause for both honorees. And the honoree for this year's Christine Braswell Peers Award is Duty Officer Brianne Munez from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Duty Duty Officer Muniz demonstrated that she has a strong desire to enhance her career and become a team player. She volunteered to be part of the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week Committee that consisted of FWC and FHP duty officers. This committee plans events to bring recognition to dispatchers locally and nationwide. Duty Officer Muniz became a certified training officer and now actively trains new hires. She has the ability to stay calm and professional when dealing with high-stress calls and emergencies and is able to pass on that skill set to new hires. Upon joining FWC, Duty Officer Muniz made it her mission to become familiar with outdoor recreational activities and programs supported by the FWC. She uses her downtime to familiarize herself with the agency and its mission by getting out in the field to learn more about hunting, fishing, and boating. One such program is Becoming an Outdoors Woman, BOW, or BOW, is that what we call it, BOW? Got to get your acronyms down. You know what, in 10 years, I'll get them all down, you know? This program offers weekend outings that includes classes and outdoor recreational activities. Some examples of those classes are baiting your own hook, I need to attend that, launching and trailering boats, and firearm familiarization. In addition to learning the 7-county area that includes Lake Okeechobee, Duty Officer Muniz learned Miami-Dade, Collier, and Monroe counties, too. An expansive area that includes the Everglades and the Florida Keys. She's also provided support for the Miami FWC Center during staff shortages. Duty Officer Muniz often rides with officers and shares those experiences with her fellow duty officers. Her enthusiasm and ability to stay calm has gained her the respect of her colleagues. Duty Officer Muniz is the Christine Braswell Peers Honoree of the Year recipient.
Hello. I honestly wasn't expecting this, but just want to say thank you to my captain, Jeff, and Lieutenant Tom Hayworth. It's a great accomplishment, and I thank you guys every day for doing what you do, and it's, yep, thank you. Was it really? Okay, thank you.
The next category is community policing. Right, Frank? Okay, thank you. Got to make sure, keep me on track here. Will the following nominees please stand? From the Jupiter Police Department, Officers Joseph Beinlich, Trish Heuser, and Robert Volpe. From the Martin County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Justin Lundstedt. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Detective Daniel D'Elia, Sergeant Connie Rogan, Deputies Tammy Fox, Jason Coker, Ryan Maharaj, Scott Thomas, Brian Fiddler, Joshua McGahee, Mike Mahoney, Devin Zukowski, Daniel Wiener, Jason Avedon, Jordan Perez, Edward Baird, Joshua Plant, Phil Hernandez, Bradley Rousel, and Brian Nipper. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Sergeant Jeff Sewell. And from the West Palm Beach Police Department, Sergeant Arthur Bullard. A round of applause for all the nominees. The honoree for the Community Policing Award is Sergeant Jeff Sewell from the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department. Sergeant Jeff Sewell supervises the Community Involvement Unit at the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department. Sergeant Sewell oversees the daily operations of the unit, but what sets him apart is his expertise in the field of crime prevention through environmental design, CPTED. CPTED is the practice of eliminating opportunities for criminal activity through innovative development and redevelopment within the city. Although the concept of CPTED has been used for several years, Sergeant Sewell has taken the concept and grown it into the standard for all commercial and residential growth and redevelopment for the entire city. Sergeant Sewell has educated city planning and zoning officials. They need help sometimes, don't they? You gotta help those guys and gals out. As well as becoming one of the key contributors in determining whether a project is approved for development within the city. Sergeant Sewell has even accomplished the task of implementing a comprehensive CPTED ordinance into the city's code, which is now part of the city's overall philosophy. Sergeant Sewell has also developed a reputation of being an expert resource for other law enforcement agencies. He's assisted neighboring jurisdictions in reviewing plans, modifying ordinances, and answering technical questions too. While it is nearly impossible, the writer says, to measure the amount of crime prevented by his efforts, the criminal statistics provide an insight that the program is working effectively. While the population of the city has increased to 51,000, the crime rate per 1,000 residents is only 29. The police department also sees a 40% decrease in commercial robberies and a 17% decrease in non-residential burglaries in recent years. As Palm Beach Gardens continues to grow, Sergeant Sewell's experience, training, and attention to detail will be very important. As the city develops crime-resistant commercial centers and residential communities, his efforts will improve the quality of life of the residents and visitors to Palm Beach Gardens. Sergeant Sewell is the Community Policing Officer of the Year.
Wow, I'm very humbled to be here tonight, this afternoon. Just receiving a nomination, very fortunate for that. But to actually receive the award, I'm very humbled and I feel very excited about that. So thank you very much. I want to give a thanks to Chief Stepp, command staff, and also the writer, I believe, is Major Rogers. Thank you very much. He was actually the commander of the Honor Guard this afternoon. The last thank you I want to give to Jack Schnur. He's back there in the corner there. I want to say thank you. He was my mentor. He helped me realize my passion for community policing and crime prevention through environmental design. And without him, I'd be a little less better than what I am now. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Chief and command staff. And thank you very much for the ACES Awards Committee for giving this prestigious award to me. Thank you.